the surprise at the top. Walked into the arena yesterday to cover what is my second NHL draft, and I started to hear the rumblings that the Ducks wanted to maybe switch things up. And number two, earlier in the week, it was, the Ducks want to surprise everyone and take Michkov. They end up going with Swedish centerman Leo Carlsson. What do you make of that pick?
Well, the Ducks, they feel like they got their franchise center.
Yeah.
And there's been a long list of Swedes who have starred in Southern California, even just of late. Hampus Lindholm on the back end. And then you've got Rickard Rakell and Jacob Silfverberg and all these different guys that have been through Anaheim, that it's been a factory. Now you can add Carlsson to that mix. Really, really impressive kid. Had a chance to talk with him after round one. And first off, he was talking about his nerves and his adventure getting there. He had to drive 14 hours from New York after his flight was canceled. Wasn't sure he was going to make it to Nashville. Then gets picked number 2 overall. And maybe the most impressive part, not just about his game as one of the true best net front presences available in this draft, is also his stutter. I don't know if you've learned much about this, but to have a stutter, to be able to speak confidently in media interviews and do it in a second language is so incredibly impressive. So full marks to him, and had a chance to talk to him about what he's doing and the confidence that he wants to provide other kids that have a stutter. Great story. But more than that, the Ducks feel like they have the guy that can be their number one pivot for the foreseeable future, to add to that talent of young stars that they have in Anaheim already. I know they're really excited. Some people viewed it as maybe a little bit off the board. You bypass Adam Fantilli, who had a historic freshman season at Michigan, I guess, but Pat Verbeek comes from the school of Steve Yzerman, and think back to, I don't know, Moritz Seider.
Yeah.
People were saying, oh, he's a little bit off the board. Why'd they pick him? He was down in the 15s or 20s. Doesn't really matter. When if the team likes you at that spot, it's just a number.
Yeah, fair enough. Let's talk about the Columbus perspective of this thing. They go ahead and they get Adam Fantilli, and you look at the little college hockey factory that they're building up front with guys like Kent Johnson as well. Columbus was probably pretty happy to walk up to that podium and take Fantilli 3.
Oh, I think they were thrilled. Either way, they were getting a great center. But to know that you're getting a guy that I think not just has the skill and the high-end finishing ability, but also someone that has a bit of an edge and bite to his game.
Yep.
And I think one other thing that's really interesting about Fantilli is that over the last number of weeks, I think even at the combine, he had voiced that he wanted to be in Columbus. Like, who's the last prospect that's ever been like, yeah, Columbus, that's the place I want to play?
I think it speaks to a little bit of the culture they're building up there with those young guys, though.
It's not just the young guys, but now add him into the mix with Patrick Laine and Johnny Gaudreau, and then also, what about the impact and changes that they've already made on their own back end? I don't know for sure that Fantilli's stepping into the NHL. I think it depended on the team that he was drafted by, but I could for sure see him making an immediate impact next year in Columbus. And I think that Blue Jackets team is knocking on the door of the playoffs.
I think they might be as well in the next couple of days here. The hiring of Mike Babcock will be made official. So something's brewing in Columbus, and they'll be happy with Fantilli at 3.